Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and thank you all for joining us this evening as we use this opportunity to share the proposed district budget for the 2018-19 school year. As we developed this budget, we centered our work around our mission statement and our guiding principles that support the idea that West Islip has 21st century vision and our students need to graduate with 21st century skills. We know that there is more to education than what happens in the classroom, and our choices reflect that in this budget. But research has shown that the basic skills, reading and mathematics, are still the best foundations for continued learning and growth, but they are just the first step. Students now and in the future will also need the 4 C's: coding, communications, creativity, and collaboration. As we developed the budget, we kept the future in mind, as we know that what we plan for this school year will have effects far beyond 2018-19. I'm proud to share that last year, 97% of graduating seniors earned a Regents diploma, and that was up from 94% the previous year. Bear in mind that the state graduation target is 80%. Additionally, 70% of our students achieved a Regents diploma with advanced designation, which requires them to complete additional rigorous coursework in languages other than English, career and technical education, or the arts, and of course pass those additional Regents examinations in various subjects. This achievement reflects a 10% increase from the class of 2016. 20% of our graduates earned a Regents diploma with CTE endorsement, which offers students recognition for mastery development of technical skills and shows their competency in meeting high industry standards. So many of those children are ready to walk right into a career when they leave high school. And 86% of our students with disabilities earned a Regents diploma, 19% with advanced designation. Keep in mind that the state target, graduation target, is 80%, so we far exceed the state target. The number of AP scholars has increased, and 16 of our seniors are candidates to earn the rigorous IB diploma. Next year, we have students attending some of the most prestigious schools in the country, including Yale, Stanford, and Cornell. So our students are making terrific progress, not only in the academic areas, but also in those settings that are extensions of our classroom environments. In the next few slides, you can see some of our amazing offerings, as well as the achievements of students in the STEM areas, business, the fine arts, and athletics. Our programs continue to grow in response to student interest and need, and we've tried to be responsive by offering courses that reflect just that, including additional AP courses, a video production course, and relevant exploratory courses at the middle school level. As stated earlier, math is one of those areas that is very important to future success, and we continually adjust our offerings to ensure that they align with student need, and if kids can have a little fun along the way, so be it. In recent years, we've extended our AP offerings, including Calculus BC. That has been well received and well enrolled, so we are looking to add AP Computer Science in the upcoming school year. Our business department is quite busy preparing students for the world beyond high school, and there's been a concerted effort to support the notion that students should start career exploration at the elementary and middle school levels. The encore courses or the exploratory courses for our 6th graders will reflect that next year, and we're doing a very careful analysis of that, and we will be acting accordingly. West Islip was one of the first districts in New York State to have its Seal of Biliteracy program approved, and the plan now serves as a prototype for other districts across the state. The Seal of Biliteracy recognizes high school graduates who have attained a high level of proficiency in more than one language, English being one of them, in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The intent of the seal is to encourage the study of languages. We know that to be very important in this increasingly changing demographic across our country. We also want to identify high school graduates with language and biliteracy skills for employers, provide universities with prepared students, prepare those students with 21st century skills, and recognize the value in native language instruction in schools, affirming that value in diversity and an increasingly multilingual society. And of course, what can I say about our fine arts program, our art and music programs, and their students? We easily could fill a dozen slides with all of the accomplishments of our students, both inside and outside the classroom. They're gearing up for NISMA majors next week, and I cannot wait to be sitting in these auditoriums, listening and watching what they do. Same with athletics. I'm especially proud of our achievements as denoted in the first two bullets on the slide, which recognizes our scholar athletes and the fact that our teams regularly are awarded the sportsmanship awards in their respective sports at their respective levels. Okay, so the adopted budget for the 2018-19 school year is $122.9 million. That's a 1.5% budget-to-budget increase. The CPI, Consumer Price Index, for 2017 is 2.13%, which translates to an allowable tax levy increase factor of 2% for 2018-19. When all factors and exclusions are applied to the calculation of the tax levy, the allowable tax levy increase in West Islip is 3.13%. For the 7th year in a row, we have stayed within the tax levy limitation, and we will be within that tax levy limitation for the 2018-19 school year. This proposal, as I mentioned, reflects a budget-to-budget increase of 1.5%, or approximately $1.8 million, and it will require our homeowners to fund $83.5 million through the tax levy. Note that this is the first year in 3 years that the tax levy has increased over the year before for our homeowners. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few moments. There are two sides to any budget: revenue and expenses. Not atypical from previous years, you can see in the pie chart that salaries and benefits account for about 3/4, or in this case 73%, of our projected expenses. Materials and services, which are conferences and dues and staff development and BOCES services, account for about $22.6 million. That is a decrease of $200,000 from the previous school year. Supplies are at $3.7 million, which is an increase of $200,000 from the previous school year. And our debt service has remained relatively flat. Our revenue comes from a variety of sources, including the state aid, fund balance, other revenue, and of course the tax levy, which is the portion that our homeowners contribute to the budget. As you can see, it is the largest share at almost 68% of our budget revenue. At current levels, about 28% of West Islip's revenue will come from state aid in 2018-19. So we'll look at that a little bit more closely. This slide gives you an idea of the various aids the district receives from the state. General purpose aid, or foundation aid, is based on a formula devised about a decade ago, and we will see a slight increase of about 1.8% in that support from the state. The expense-based aids, which is the second row you can see there, are our building aid, BOCES aids, special education aid, transportation aid, etc. Since some of our previous bond notes have come off the books, this number has decreased, which contributes to an overall decrease in state aid to the district for the upcoming school year. Other aids, such as hardware and technology, software, library, and textbook aid, they're all driven by enrollment, and as you know, our enrollment continues to decrease, so we also see a slight decrease there as well. But what is included in the budget? Budget preparation is an arduous task, and building and district administrators and the board have spent countless hours considering needs, short and long-term district goals, and public feedback that we've received throughout the year, and of course at the public work sessions that are held in February, March, and April. Earlier in the presentation, we shared some of the initiatives that are going on within individual departments, and these are some of the additional items that are supported in this budget. It is an extremely robust budget. We're very proud of it. We've been attentive to addressing the curricular and instructional needs within our classrooms, as well as the various maintenance issues that are within our facilities. In addition to maintaining our curricular, extracurricular, and athletic programs previously established, so nothing has been cut, we have included a number of items in this proposed budget that will allow us to expand what we do in the classrooms, our library media centers, our labs, music rooms, and on the athletic fields, of course. And it also allows us to greatly develop our technology initiative. Some of the items that you see here have been put off for a long time. They are not recurring expenses. So the additional state aid and other factors allowed us to address some of these items that we know, some of which should have been addressed some time ago, but certainly they are at a point in their lifetime where they are, in some cases, really held together with tape and glue, I guess, Mr. Bassi, huh? We're also pursuing a number of textbook series. Some of the textbooks are quite outdated in certain of our areas, and this is something we have pursued over the last few years. Most of those series will provide digital support, and in some cases, the textbooks themselves are in digital format. We're looking at furniture and equipment throughout the district, and of course, we are looking forward to repairing that high school electric sign, which is quite costly. But as I mentioned earlier, we do continue to face declining enrollment. This year, we anticipate that 367 seniors will graduate from our high school. The incoming kindergarten class is currently at 240 students. So we're losing 367, and we have 240 coming in. So our overall enrollment will decline by approximately 3%. 17 teachers will retire or resign in June, and despite absorbing 6 of those positions, we're able to maintain exceptionally low class sizes K-12, including at the elementary level. These are our current projected average class sizes at the K-2 level, and actually these numbers are as of today. They did not change from April, which was the last time that we had evaluated where we are with the class sizes. We do monitor these numbers very closely throughout the spring and the summer, and there will be adjustments based on the CPSE, CSE process, practically on a weekly basis. We also know that throughout the summer, parents sign their children out of their home districts on June 30th. If they move into West Islip, they will sign them in shortly after that. So we do continue to monitor these numbers very, very closely. But as you can see, K-6, there are no classes projected to be over 25 district-wide. It's a very nice number. I know some of my colleagues have expressed that that's really where they start. So we're very fortunate to be able to maintain that. Homeowners will fund $83.5 million of the $122.9 million budget through the tax levy. The final tax rate and homeowner tax levies changed for 2017-18, this current school year, after the property assessments were reported in July 2017. So the adjusted 2017-18 numbers reflect an adjustment, or actually a reduction, in the homeowner's tax rate and levy from the 2016-17 school year. That is, or this is, the second year in a row that West Islip homeowners enjoyed a reduction in their school tax levy. In effect, both last year's tax levy and that of the year before, 17-18 and 16-17, resulted in a decrease to our homeowners. From the individual homeowner's perspective, a property assessed, not valued, but assessed at $45,000, which is about average for West Islip, would result in an increase of approximately $21 per month. And I know that everybody likes to figure out how it will affect their own tax bill. So if you were to pull out your tax bill and find the place, and you could see it here in the top blue circle, find your assessed value of your home. This bill reflects a home that is assessed at $46,000. If you take that assessed value, divide it by 100, and multiply it by 0.568, you will be able to calculate what the increase will be for the year. So in this particular case, the homeowner with the home assessed at $46,000 could expect to see an increase of $261.28 for the 2018-19 school year, and that comes out to $21.77 per month. New York State Tax Law 606-1 provides for a credit against income taxes for the years 2016 through 19 for eligible taxpayers. So this will be the last year that our homeowners will enjoy a tax credit if they are eligible. To be eligible, they need to be residents, own, and primarily reside in real property receiving the STAR exemption, and also have qualified gross income no greater than $275,000. So this rebate, if you will, or this credit is paid via a refund check to the homeowner, to the taxpayer, on or about October 31st. The amounts for West Islip homeowners will be calculated on a sliding scale, as they will throughout the state. And as the school district, again, has stayed, again, within the tax levy limit, our eligible homeowners may apply for the credit. And we do anticipate that to be somewhere in the neighborhood of between $90 to $700 on a sliding scale for those homeowners that are eligible. So inevitably, people will ask what happens if the budget doesn't pass. And we typically don't spend too much time on that because we do encourage everyone to go out and vote. But a contingent budget would require no increase to the tax levy, and there are additional restrictions. But a contingent budget would reduce the 2018-19 proposed budget by over $2.5 million, which is extremely significant. Last year, only 9.4% of our eligible population voted. This year, we have a contested election. Typically, we do see more people coming out to vote in a contested election, but we have 3 community members vying for 2 open seats. Incumbent Steve Geller, who happens to be with us this evening, Richard Antonello, and Catherine Artusa. This is an open election, so the 2 candidates who received the most votes will be seated as trustees. If you are not going to be around next Tuesday, or you have a relative or a friend that anticipates not being able to cast their ballot in person, they can obtain an absentee ballot from our district office. They can download the application from the district website. They must return the application by Monday, May 14th, so that we can give them the ballot, and then the ballot needs to be returned to our district clerk no later than 5 p.m. on the day of the budget vote, which is Tuesday, May 15th, between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. at West Islip High School. Please note that only the back doors leading to the girls' gym will be open for the vote. In the past, we have had access for our seniors and others in the front of the building, but in this time of heightened security, we feel that we are better able to control traffic within the high school, so there will be spots saved closer to the doors for those that may need closer access to those doors, and we will also provide parking for our seniors on the upper tier of the high school parking lot, directly behind where you would enter to get to the pool or to get to the girls' gymnasium. But all of the traffic will be funneled in that area. So we do hope to see you there. If anybody has any questions at this time?
First time I've been to a meeting. Sorry, nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming.
I actually wanted to talk. I don't know
Sure.
if this is a public be heard. No.
Sure.
Am I allowed to?
Absolutely.
Now or?
Nope, you're up.
Okay.
By all means, if you could
Oh,
just
I
state
go
your
over
name and
here?
your
Oh,
address.
okay,
You really
okay.
don't have to, because I think we're close
Okay.
enough here that we're all hear each other.
All right.
Well, it's fine.
Whatever you're
Okay.
comfortable with.
I'm not really comfortable. I'm a little nervous.
The small crowd, don't
I
worry.
know, I'm still a little nervous. Okay, so I've been to budget meetings before, and I've been to a lot of meetings because I'm also a teacher. But hi, my name is Rochelle Cassio, and I've been a resident here in West Islip for 5 years. And my children go to Manatuck Elementary School and Udall Middle School. And we've been very happy with the school district. I'm here today to talk about my child's class size. My son Ethan has a 504, and he is in a class of 26 at Manatuck. I feel that He has gotten lost in the shuffle on many occasions this year, and it's not due to poor teaching, but when you have a 26-to-1 ratio, there is no way that a teacher can devote individualized time day in and day out to my one child or any one child. And how do I know this? I know this from real life experience because I am an elementary school teacher. I've been teaching, this is my 21st year, and I've had classes as high as 36 when I worked in the city, and 27 on the island, and as low as 18. And there's simply no comparison. So I know you said that 25 was a low number, but with all due respect, it's not really a low number. With a small class size, teachers have the ability to really get to know each child and bring out their unique qualities. A small class can do more hands-on projects, and a teacher can actually give more meaningful assignments as he or she would have the time to plan, engage, encourage, and give meaningful feedback. And I think that's really important, is giving that meaningful feedback to each child. And when you have a class of 18 or you have a class of 20 or opposed to a class of 26, those 8 children, it does make a big difference. The 3rd grade class at Manitowoc has children with emotional needs. I know because I've talked to, I don't have a support group here, but I did on the fields like the last couple of weeks. But I do know that there are emotional needs, academic needs, and the 3rd grade class also has students that are eligible for inclusion, yet they don't want to uproot their children and send them to Okanagan. So I was told there's no way that, well, there's like never no way, but there's not a good chance of getting an inclusion class in Manitowoc. However, I feel that at least if there were smaller classes, it would help the children with these academic needs, emotional needs, and we are trying to teach the Common Core, soon to be the next generation standards, and our standards as a district, I think, should be even greater as well. Our children deserve to have their needs met, and our teachers need a fair chance to reach and teach every child. I, along with many parents, are imploring that you reduce the class size, meet every child's individual needs, and reduce the anxiety put on students and teachers here in West Islip. And I did do the math. If there are 78, which I believe there's 78, I'm not sure, but there's 26 times 3 is 78. So if there's 78 children in Manitowoc in 3rd grade, if we had 4 teachers going in for the children going for next year, that would mean 19 to 20 in each class. So that would be a great difference. And our children deserve the best schools and I think the best shot at success. And one way we can achieve that is for lower class size. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you, Mrs. Cassio. Actually, as of today, there are 74 children in Manitowoc 3rd grade.
Okay.
74. Now, sometimes, as you know, as a teacher, over the course of the year, our attempt is to make sure that the classes are as equitable as possible in size, but then 2 children move out here,
Right.
3 children move in here, the timing isn't always perfect, and so one teacher may end up with 26, another teacher may end up with 21. I'm not saying that's the case here because I don't know off the top of my head what it is, but I do know with certainty that there are 74 3rd graders right now at Manitowoc.
Okay. So when,
So I don't know why, if there is 26 in your child's class, it may have happened because of the way things, went. I know that Mrs. Morrison, I would consider her to be a master scheduler.
yes, and I talked to her before I came here.
Yes.
I actually talked to the team at, my son's team at Manitowoc, and, I did ask about inclusion, and I know the way things are moving, that Manitowoc was going to be like a special ed, self-contained.
We're moving around some of the other programs.
Right.
Yes, but
So-
we don't want to uproot or impact any of the children that are currently in schools in which they are attending.
Unfortunately, I think my child would do well in an inclusion class. However, he would have to go to Oakland. And honestly, we even through the 504, he'd have to get a CSE. I'd have to go through the CSE. I mean, I don't even know if it could happen. But the thing is that it is a big class, and the difference from second grade to third grade, and it's not just me talking. I know it's just me talking now. I wish I had my supporters, but it's not just me talking. It really, this year has been very difficult, and I know it's also difficult on the teachers. All three classes were very big, and there are a lot of special needs in each class. So I'm just asking you to consider. I see that you have a lot of people retiring, maybe hiring a new teacher.
Well, this comes up at every work session, so we do consider these very carefully. The equity across and around the district is very important. I think you can see that we have tried as much as possible to maintain that equity throughout the district, and that's important.
What is the maximum number of children?
In which grade?
For grades 3 through 6?
So kindergarten contractually would be 18 to, every one of these can go 10% higher, but
Right.
we're not there.
So I
at
didn't
all.
know what your contract
Right.
was.
So kindergarten is 18 to 22.
Okay,
First, second, and third grades are 20 to 24, and then 10% we could, but we're not. 20 to 24, and then fourth through sixth grades is 24 to 27.
okay. And I honestly just think and I'm sure you understand with the new Common Core, and I know that West Islip might not be taking a lot of the state testing now, but in the future, they may take more, and I feel that, I don't believe in teaching to the test, I'm not trying to say that, but while we're trying to teach the Common Core or teach these new standards, that it is a lot of planning, and it's a lot of hands-on, the new upcoming standards, a lot of hands-on, right, and I think that for smaller classes, they'll just get more out of it, and I really think, and as a teacher, and I know this, the smaller my class is, the more meaningful conversations and feedback every single student they do get, so I'm talking as a teacher and as a parent. Thank you. And it's nice to meet you.
Nice time to you too.
Yeah, we see you on the
We've
phone.
communicated, I think.
Yeah, we have. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Sorry, did I take a seat?
Well, thank you for joining us this evening, and it's good to see everybody.
Tell you to come late and take people.